wine making, cheese making, kombucha, craft beer making at home. If any of this sounds good to you, then it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it's time you get in here, Great Fermentations, and check it out. So what's the main reason that people are really into like brewing at home and winemaking at home?
I mean, the reasons really can be just dependent on the person, but what we see a lot of nowadays is creativity. I mean, you and me can buy pretty much any type of beer we want at the store. So the reason that it used to be is people wanted to brew beer that they couldn't get, you know, from overseas, but now that it's kind of pervasive everywhere, people just really get into it now for creativity. So with like beer and wine, is there a creative aspect to it, or is it just simply like you follow that recipe and don't? Oh, there's definitely creative. I mean, there's people that want to just kind of put it on autopilot, look at a recipe and go. Right. But there's, I mean, the majority of the people we have come in here, it's all creative. They want to make something unique, different ingredients that they've got, and then making something new. A lot of them may start with a recipe. Right, and then just kind of build off of that, like most people do with cooking. So what is the most creative ingredient? You know, like I've heard people making wine out of like onions. Okay. And people, dandelions. Dandelions and weird stuff. Anything that was sugar, I suppose. I've had a tomato wine recently. Really? And it was actually pretty good, believe it or not. But beer, I've had a seafood ale. Really? Yeah, I know. It sounds funny. It was actually good. Somebody who has no experience, can they literally come here, get a kit, go home and brew? Yeah, 100%. Yep. We have anything from like really basic setups that we can start you with, or you know, the ultimate setup with everything you need. It's really simple to get started, and you can get going day one when you pick up the things from here. Now, you guys have expanded into other things, like what is kombucha? I hear a lot about that, and cheese making and other things, right? So, but what's kombucha? Kombucha. It's a fermented tea. Kombucha is actually made from something called a SCOBY. And SCOBY is a yeast and a bacteria. Okay. And they actually will consume the sugar that's in the tea, and they actually then consume the alcohol that's there too. And so you're left with a non-alcoholic kombucha tea. It's kind of acidic, but it's got lots of probiotics. Okay. And then what do you see for the future for you guys? The future, I mean, there's so many different outlets. Beer brewing is still an active hobby. Right. And we've actually grown a lot online. So we have our local store here. That's always going to be here. But we're starting to branch out and sell online to people across the country that brew their own beer. Yeah. So you know, we're leaning more into the beer brewing, and then we're also trying to help locally with service to people to help, you know, maintain their draft systems. But you know, the future is helping to continue to grow home brewing and winemaking here in Indiana. Great Fermentations has all the gear and all the goodies for the beginner who's curious about home brewing beer at home or winemaking, all the way to people who are really advanced in the hobby. For Great Day TV, I'm Barney Wood.